morning children, how are you all? So yesterday we discussed about the Indian Constitution. Our lesson number 13, that is Indian Constitution. In that Indian Constitution, making of Indian Constitution, how they made the Indian Constitution, how the procedure, how much time it has taken for writing a constitution, and what are the people, who are the people involved in that, everything was we discussed today. So, making of Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution was drafted in very difficult situation. They drafted it because before that it is 200 years. It is a typical situation in 200 years under colonial rule, under British rule, and Britain were about 200 years, and institutions had been designed in they suit their rule. Okay, suit their atmosphere and all. So, but finally, we have to write after the Britishers' departure, and the country needs a suited constitution for India. And not only that, and in the meantime, there was a communal feeling, communal conflict came, and our India was partitioned as Pakistan and India, isn't it? That is one of the very drawback to India. And that was only the situation. And not only that, after that there are most of the parts are under princely states. When the colonial rule was going on, princely some of the places are under colonial rule. So there is a lot of differences between the people, rich and poor. Okay, there are very differences between the casteism, regionalism, religions. Like that, there are many factors are there, and differences between rich and poor, upper and lower caste, and concerned about keeping the country together, all allowing to break up any further. So, after writing the constitution, what the people, whoever the makers of the constitution, they thought that the next time any partition should not be happen like Pakistan. It should not be happen like Pakistan, because it's a very bad remark to the Indian history that we were partitioned, and many people were died when that transit, while going from say 14th August 1948 they got independence, and 15th August 1948 India got independent. So such a time, the people who were there in Pakistan area, those people came to India, and Indian people, whoever the Muslims are there, most of the Muslims, they have gone to the Pakistan. So such a time, in the transit period is very pathetical situation faced by Indian government and Indian people, because in that transit there was no transport, and it became a big holocaust. Many people were died, injured, and many people were shelterless, and many people became orphans. Like that, there was a very pathetical situation was arised when one partition happened with the Pakistan. So after that, our people decided that it's a effectively running government should be there after writing the constitution and after getting the independence. Okay, so such a time our constitution makers decided that we have to write the correct constitution. It suits the people. Okay, and not only that, once we got independence, we were not fought not only for independence, but also many things are there. There is an end to inequalities, okay, and exploitation, end to the inequalities and exploitation and discrimination. Discrimination to our society, whatever discrimination, exploitation, landlordism, jamindarism, okay, caste system, these are all, and inequalities, poor and rich. And many discriminations are there. Those we have to keep a full stop for that. To end that, we have to write the constitution. Even for that reason also we have to write the constitution. And we want, because at that time there was an acute poverty. There was a acute poverty before independence, and there is a low level of literacy, isn't it? To check for all these discriminations, to check for all these minus points, we have to write the constitution. So such a time they have written the constitution. That's why many people, the intellectual people, a common man, political leaders, many individuals and many educated persons, everyone, women, everyone, they thought and they considered many suggestions. They have taken the suggestions from the people, suggestions from the intellectuals, and they have taken the good parts, whatever they are in the constitution. In other constitutions, other country constitutions like Canada, UK, and United States of America, those constitutions also, whatever good things are there, we can adopt that. Because if any good is there in anyone, we can take, whether they are small or whether they are low or whoever may be. Whoever may be, when any good is there, we can definitely adopt it from the others. So that's such a thing they made it, and almost they have written 2 years, 11 months, 18 days it has taken time to write the constitution. Our Indian constitution is the lengthiest, biggest and largest written constitution in the world history. Okay, so how much time they have taken? 2 years, 11 months, 18 days they have written the constitution. So how they have written the constitution? First they adopted on 26 November 1949. The constitution was adopted. So many more discussions and everyone, there are so many pros and cons, what we have to write, what not to write, everything discussed, and finally they adopted on the 26 November 1949. It was completely closed. But it came into practice, came into existence on 26 December 1950. That's why that is called Republic Day. We will be celebrating Republic Day every 26 January 1950 because on that day the Constitution came into existence. Okay, came into force. Okay, so why this date? Why adopted on 26 November 1949 and why it came into practice in 1950? 26 January. In the meantime, there are 8 months time. It kept for open for public because any suggestions, any debates, so many questions were arised. What to do? Still any amendments we have to do? Still any changes we have to do? For that, they made 8 months. It was kept open for public. Okay. And next, who is the president of the Constitutional Assembly? First of all, before writing the constitution, first they elected some people, that is called Constitution Assembly. That is called Constitution Assembly. In this Constituent Assembly, they had elections. In that elections, whoever the people, 292 people were from all the countries. Okay, from all the categories, not only all the countries, not all the states, and from 93 members from princely states from 93 members they have taken, and 22 members from tribal people, lower caste, scheduled tribe, from that also people elected from 22, elected from this. Like that all over, finally these people are called Constituent Assembly. So for this Constitution Assembly, there was a president is Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad and chairman of drafting committee. So whatever the drafting committee is, finally there is a rough copy they provided, and that rough copy was completely failed by 8 members. That is called Constituent Drafting Committee. That is called draft constitution. So the draft constitution chairman, drafting committee chairman was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. After that he became the law officer for India. Isn't it? Law minister, he became the law minister first law minister in India is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So this is about the Indian Constitution, when it was started and when it was ended, and who is the president of Constitution Assembly and who is the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay. After that, what are the things they added? What are the important things were added? I told you in the preamble. Yesterday I showed you a few things in the preamble constitution, and now I will show you remaining things. So this is the emblem. This is the state emblem and constitution. This is the emblem. This is called Satyameva Jayate. There is a slogan for this. There is a title for this. Is Satyameva Jayate. There are 4 lion faces will be there, and here there is a chakra. Ashoka chakra is there. Okay, Ashoka chakra is there. This is called our national symbol. Okay, national emblem. We can call it as a national emblem. So now we'll see what are the things they have written in this constitution. Okay, first yesterday we discussed about secular we discussed about secular, democratic, and justice, isn't it? So few more things are there. Republic. What is meant by republic? What is meant by republic? What we have written here: we, the people of India, the constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representatives and not handed down to them by a king or outside powers. This is an assertion of the democratic nature of our republic. Generally, what happens before that, when we did not write the constitution at that time, the kings were ruling the country, monarchy is there, oligarchy is there, many things are there. But king's rules are there. But now it is a different completely, and it's a very good form of government that is called a democratic republic. So what is meant by republic? Republic means the head of the state is elected person. Here see, you can see that republic is there somewhere here. See, where is republic? So republic is, what is meant by republic? The head of the state is an elected person and not a hereditary position as in kingdom. He is not an hereditary, he will not come after the king's son, the grandson, like that. It will be in hereditary basis in olden times. But in the government, in the democratic government, it is not like that. The elected person from anywhere of India, any person, any profession of India. That's why republic head, elected person is called our president. See, if you see our presidents, there are different professions. One president is from a poor peasant family, Gnani Jail Singh. And you take one president, Abdul Kalam, he is a scientist. And one person is a teacher, Sarvepalli Radhakrishna. Like that, there is a different people will come. And with the people of India having resolved the constitute India into a republic and secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality and fraternity, give ourselves this constitution. So our constitution will give all these things. And you take sovereign. What is meant by sovereign here? Sovereign means India will have a supreme right to take decisions on internal as well as external affairs and make her own laws. So why we added all these things? Why we added all these different republic, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic? Why we have given all these things? Because we fed up with the colonial government for 200 years, and after that we realized what do we want exactly, what form of government we have to choose. So finally everybody thought that the democratic government, democracy is a very good form of government. I told you 16th president of United States of America. Who is that? Who is that? Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln said that he has given a definition to the democracy. Democracy is for the people, by the people and of the people. He is for the people, only will rule the country, people only will elect the representatives, and people only will rule the country directly or indirectly. Okay, so this is the about the democracy of government. So in this sovereign, what is meant by sovereign? Sovereign means supreme power rests with the people and their representatives, and nobody means here the foreign colonial powers. No colonial power should not, any power, any other country should not involve in our external matters or internal matters. We only have a supreme power with the nation and with the people, and nobody should involve in our personal matters. So that is called sovereignty. Okay, and no external power can make any decisions regarding our anything, regarding our wealth, regarding any war or anything. No, as external affairs, no external countries should not make any decisions on our country. So that is called sovereign country, because we learned so many lessons in colonial power and all. So now we want to rule our country with ourselves. Okay, next is socialist. What is meant by socialism? Socialism means it is equality. Wealth is generated socially by all through work and should be shared equally by all. That means whatever the powers, whatever the resources are there, the national resources should be controlled it should be distributed equally to all the people. Okay, it should be, that means it's a centralized planning by the government, and government only will have all the resources owned by government. Land should be governed by the government, and resources, industry should be governed by the government, and everything should be governed by the government only. So government will distribute equally to all the people, depends on their positions, and depends on their qualification. Next is secular. Yesterday we discussed about the secularism. What is secular? Secularism means there is a religious freedom, and government is completely neutral in this stage. That means neither government encourage any religion nor discourage any religion. Why we added this secularism here in India? Because our India is ruled by many colonial rules, foreign rules, and Muslims, Rajputs, many people were ruled the country. So if the Hindu rulers were ruled the country, so what happened, there is a difference, different languages, different traditions, different cultures completely embedded. Though we are all different people, but in one roof of India. So such that what happens, we have to take care of every people here, every religion here. So religious freedom, we have a religious freedom, and government neither encourage any religion nor discourage any religion. So in front of government everyone is equal. That is called secularism. Next is democratic. You all know that what is democratic. And democratic, a form of government where people will enjoy the rights, even they enjoy the political rights also. That means contesting in the elections, voting right, these are all comes under political rights. So even contesting election, you, me, anybody can contest in the elections, isn't it? So that means there is no hereditary basis at all. We can contest in the elections. We have a extra speech of express of our speech. We have every right to speech. Everyone can say their opinion on leaders and all. Here the government is transparent. That means what government is doing, people can know. If any representative is doing some fraud things or going in a narrow way, we can have, every citizen have a right to ask them. So all these things are in the democracy, and people enjoy their rights. So remaining things we can discuss later, children. I hope everyone understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.